J. Schmidt from 55 to give the Browns a 13-10 win.
Dog Pound hitting the road, headed off to the Motor City, where they will encounter a Lions team with an engine now firing on all cylinders.
3 for 3 going for it on 4th down. You think these guys have any fun playing for Dan Campbell?
The warning here is the team the Browns took on were also cooking with gas until they ran into that Browns defense. So let's get it on again then. Detroit's offense slapped down 38 points last Monday, which came on the heels of them cooking up a 50-burger, so they're plenty warm as they hit Week 4.
They go 98.5 yards, took over 9 minutes.
That's pretty impressive.
That offense squabbling with a defense that's given up the fewest yards in the NFL through 3 games, held the Packers, who were good for 27 points back-to-back weeks, to 10 points, despite their own offense giving Green Bay chance after chance all game long.
Love with pressure, and down he goes. The Browns get to him.
Cleveland held Jordan Love to 183 yards, only 1 touchdown. They picked him off.
Love throws, intercepted! The first Green Bay turnover of the season.
Now they try and put the clamps on Jared Goff and company. Didn't light up the yards category in their win over Baltimore, but another clean game, 100-plus rate for the second week in a row.
Throws back to Goff, who airs it out for St. Brown. What a play.
He has clean games when he leaves with a clean jersey usually, which he did last week after not taking a single sack on 28 pass attempts. Myles Garrett, the biggest threat to soil his duds this week. He's reached a quarterback each game so far. The Browns reaching Love 5 times on just 25 pass attempts.
Love under heat. Pressure comes, and he's blasted by Schlesinger.
Cleveland's secondary held every Packers pass catcher to less than 55 yards, a little over 50 given up to Matthew Golden. Receivers they draw in this matchup, Jamison Williams, 43 yards last week on his 2 snags.
Goff protected, fires, and another catch. Just 1 for 19.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown, the guy who enters off the best game when it comes to receiving, 77 yards and a TD.
For St. Brown. He is there, and he's got it. Touchdown, Detroit. What a throw and catch.
Jahmyr Gibbs caught 5 passes versus Baltimore, 32 receiving yards, ran for 67, punched in 2 balls.
They pitch to Gibbs. Touchdown. Boy, was that a thing of beauty.
His partner, though, roars in off a 151-yard game. David Montgomery broke off a 72-yarder, scored twice.
Just a stunning couple of plays back-to-back.
They take on the toughest team to run on so far, Browns holding runners to 2.3 yards per carry after holding Josh Jacobs to 1.9.
Watch this in run support. He's going to come up, he's going to battle through Dontavian Wicks and come up and make that play.
Browns got that first win on the back of that D, and their special teams would go a long way if their offense would chip in or at least not act as dead weight. 13 points, 4 for 13 on 3rd down, haven't scored 18 in a game yet, not usually a winning formula.
Play action pressure coming, Flacco in trouble, and he got rid of it. Kevin Stefanski says, where's the offense?
Joe Flacco, trying to snap a 3-game INT streak, only mustered 142 yards versus Green Bay, under 4 yards per attempt. Why even throw at that point?
Not a great throw by Joe, and boy, he pays the price.
Flacco does face a Detroit secondary that gave up 3 touchdowns and 288 yards to Lamar Jackson, a 148 rate on a fat 10 yards per attempt, no picks. The Lions surrendered 30 points.
Jackson backpedaling, Andrews wide open, one-on-one, and he'll take it in.
Going from Lamar to Flacco, of course, akin to going from an iPhone to a flip phone. And if Detroit's pass rush could track down Lamar 7 times,
iPhone to a flip
just
phone.
remember, Aiden, Joe is old. Try and be gentle.
Lamar Jackson, there he is. Hutchinson, sack number 6.
Flacco will obviously ditch the ball a lot quicker than Jackson. He's taken 2 sacks in each game.
There's another little chip right there. You got to get out quicker.
Lions DBs did give up 2 touchdowns to Mark Andrews and 91 yards. A tight end happens to be the only Browns pass catcher to wrangle 40 yards last week. David Njoku with 40 on the nose, 5 catches.
Here's the Joku, first down for the Browns to the 40-yard line.
So why not load up on some Quinton? Judkins looked great in his first NFL start, going for 94 yards, 5.2 a run. He scored.
Gives it to the rookie, Judkins, into the end zone. It's a Cleveland touchdown.
Gets a Lions defense that just held Derrick Henry to 50 yards and took the ball away from him too.
Hand off to Henry, and he gets it punched out. Knocked out on the play
Good
by
morning.
Aiden Hutchinson.
I get it, we're going to see 10 Lions logos at the end, just like we saw 10 G logos at the end of last week's preview. Buyer beware. Cleveland, Detroit started up in 1952. Both teams were elite in the 50s too. Met in the title game 4 times. Detroit has won 19 of their 25 meetings. 2009, though, has to top the charts of their modern battles.
Against the Browns in Week 11, Jim Schwartz looked to his offense to dig them out of an early 21-point hole. Stafford and the offense clawed back, scoring 21 unanswered points.
Stafford set, pressured by Hutchinson. He goes down again.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, and mic just fell out. It's no mic day and no light day. I got to get my lights on. But welcome into the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Just getting a little background stuff handled this morning. Getting a few topics handled before we get rolling. So anyway, I want to walk you in, man. We're going to talk about the Browns today. We're going to do some video work today. Jared Goff talks about the Browns defense. Aiden Hutchinson talks about the Browns, and I love that little quote out of the NFL's performance update of the week for the Lions and Browns matchup, going from an iPhone to a flip phone. I love it. That's Lamar to Flacco. We'll see if Flacco's still going to be the guy. I mean, so far that's what they're rolling with. I'm surprised, but we'll talk about that probably tomorrow. Let's get it rolling, man. Be right back here in 10 seconds.
Game time, Detroit, and you found the right place for the latest Detroit Lions news. So hop on in and take the ride to Super Bowl 60 with Rocked On Detroit Lions. Join Will Rock, Eric Rintamaki, and Riley O'Brien today on the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Good morning.
All right, good morning, Eric. Bring you in just 1 second, and good morning, everybody out there in the audience. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning. Please do us a quick favor and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Man, just one video last night apparently reached a lot of new people. Over 50 new subscribers last night just from one video, and I appreciated all the good compliments. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, the only way you can win or have an opportunity to win giveaways is if you're subscribed. If you're going to have a chance to win tickets to a game this year once we hit 10,000, which, man, we are so close. We're getting there. You got to be subscribed to the channel. So please do it. Let's rock and roll this morning. Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Hey, isn't it crazy that we were at, like, I don't know, 2,000 when I first got in here a year and 9 months ago? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's been a lot of work, man. It's been a lot of work. You know, it could have been a lot better. I didn't.
That's all right. We're getting it.
I didn't do as much work as I should have because of all the health issues. But we're getting there, man. Slowly but surely. It just amazes me when last night's video had such good reach. It's still pointing straight up. You know, like that means that the arc is good for views. That I get messages from people that say, how did I never see this show? How did I never know you and I don't know. I don't know the answer. I really don't, because when I read my stats and it tells me how many new viewers that I get on a weekly or even a daily, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's the algorithm, I guess. I guess I'm not doing a good enough job, but hopefully with all the new changes that I just made, it'll get better.
That's like I was telling you on Facebook. I can repost the same video 2 weeks later at a different time of day, and it goes nuts. Where the first time I put it out, it gets 100 views. Second time, it gets 4.3 million. You just never know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yesterday, I put out this video on Penei Sewell, and nobody clicked. Not like 100 people in 2-3 hours. So I'm like, fine, I'll unlist it, and I'll just have to list it again later. I guess nobody was interested in Penei Sewell. Hey, dude had an historic night.
Yeah.
I think that we touched on it a little bit, but I don't know if we gave the full story of Penei Sewell yesterday and what he really did. There was 3 major contexts to what he did on Monday night. And you know what? You're just going to have to watch the video when I relist it. So there's 3 major contexts. He broke 2 records that are huge on Monday night. Okay, I'll give it to you. He had the pass block or the run blocking grade of 99.3. Best ever by any player, right? So that's the any player blocking grade. So the previous grade, I'm testing my memory with a headache this morning, was only 12 snaps. And I think his name was Tony Richardson or something like that. I don't have my notes in front of me. But only 12 snaps. He had 37 snaps and locked up a 99.3 run block grade. Now, we don't put all of the emphasis on PFF, right? You still got to watch the film to see what they actually did. But I highlighted one of his, actually, you know what? I wrote an article on it too. I highlighted one of his blocks for Montgomery on that 72-yard run. But it wasn't just him, right? It wasn't just him that was responsible for that victory on Monday or that block, on that long run. There was a seal block by Amon-Ra St. Brown. There was Khalif Raymond coming back down and then peeling in and making a block. There was, Ratledge looks so good right now. Penei gets up into the second level and locks up Roquan Smith. And then up on the left side, there's Jamison Williams blocking the corner. Everybody doing their job. And he went through, Montgomery went through the right side of Penei Sewell when Penei got up into that second level. And had there been one more block downfield, man, he probably would have finished it. But it's kind of tough getting caught from 72 yards downfield. The second part of this was, let me just pull up my notes. The second part of this was among all offensive linemen with at least 10 run blocking snaps in a single game. Penei Sewell's 99.3 stands alone at the top. He logged the 37 run blocking snaps, but he also had the all-time overall PFF grade in this game for all offensive linemen, which was a 98.7 overall PFF grade, previously held by Andrew Whitworth in 2010 of a 98.4. So pretty impressive stuff. And we know that Penei Sewell's always been a hell of a blocker. Pass pro is my issue where he struggles a little bit at times. I'm still not saying I'd want something different. I just think it could improve. But here's my question for everybody in the comments. Please start leaving comments. It really, 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 really helps. Not in the chat. After it ends, leave us a couple comments. It'd be really helpful and appreciated. Okay, so Penei sets a new record, right, for blocking. But they do this thing where they say it's north of 12 snaps. You have to have a minimum of 12 snaps. Well, if you set the record with 37 snaps, shouldn't the next guy have to do that or better? Don't you think that that's how it should work? You're muted.
Yes.
I think so too, but that's not how they do it. I don't like that idea at all. I think that if you want to beat somebody and you want to set the record, then yeah, you could go in and just have 10 snaps because the other one's only 10 snaps. Play a great game for 10 snaps, get out, or get injured and get out and set a record.
Yeah.
I think that's BS.
I did see, excuse me, that Penei Sewell, out of the top 10 all-time offensive lineman PFF graded games, 3 in the top 10 are Penei Sewell.
Yes, that's the other thing. And so he started setting the record back in here. It's in my article. 2022 versus the Packers, week 12, he had a 96.6, and that is now the top 10. That is 10th. And then the divisional round against the Bucks, 97.5, which is now third all time. And then against the Ravens Monday night, week 3, 99.3. So he's on there 3 times right now. 3 times. My question in this video, too, was, is he going to want more money?
I don't know. Now, I don't think there's another offensive lineman that's on that top 10 list twice, is there?
I don't think so, but
Because I looked at it and I don't think there was one that was on there twice, and he was on there 3 times.
dude's he's a road grader, man. That's just what he does.
Yeah. When everybody puts out a list, it never includes Penei Sewell as number 1.
Yeah, they can take those lists and shove them where you know what. Yep. All right, I got to get my chat open here. I apologize. I'm a little delayed this morning, even though I was up way early. All right, bingo, done. All right, here's the article. If you guys didn't get it, you can subscribe. It's free. I'm not asking you to support the paywall, but it is free, and pretty much everything that gets updated right now is available for immediate read. I'll pin that for you guys if you want to check out the Detroit Lions Football Journal by yours truly. And if you want to write, if you would like to write about your Detroit Lions, you do not have to be a professional writer. You do not have to be a journalist. You don't need a master's degree. You just need really good ideas and to have fun, right? And post things that you're passionate about. If you would like to write, all you have to do is email me at mailbag@rockdown.com. and we'll get you writing right away. It's a passion project. So it's unpaid. It's for you to have fun, right? And contribute to your Detroit Lions history. I did relist that video too, so it's all in that article. All right, today, man, where are we starting? Let's take a look here. We have a few things to go through. Number one, Ali McNeil, talking about Ali McNeil. I'm going to talk about him a little bit later on today. There's a video coming out shortly after today's live about that whole situation. Tim Twentyman's Browns defense. We're going to see what Tim Twentyman's talking about. The Lions injury report. I did last night's video on the injury report. Let's talk about it if you guys didn't have a chance to go through the video yet. Goff on the Browns defense. We'll bring that video in. Jack Campbell, I've got to go back to the Ravens one more time because I didn't see the Jack Campbell video pop up. I want to play it with everybody because the dude's an absolute animal. And, you know, if you watch the Greenlight podcast, he's done nothing but support the Lions, and he was supporting the Packers this year, but now he's back on the Lions train a little bit. He's just doing his job, providing content, but he does with such... I don't know, fervor. I guess I don't know what the word would be. He does a really good job at supporting, and he says things that are so true, you know, about Jack just being this rare type of linebacker in today's NFL, which I think that a lot of us understand that. And then Montgomery also talks about the Browns. So we'll bring 3 or 4 videos in today as we get rolling, as we get time. But Eric, you've got some interesting information. Detroit Lions are doing so well. What's going on?
Well, I think it might be because of our current team. The Detroit Lions are doing so well that some former Detroit Lions might be getting a little bit of love. As of the most recent Hall of Fame class in 2024, There are 23 individuals who have played, coached, or held an administrative position with the Detroit Lions and are inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This includes players like Dwight Freeney, who was part of the 2024 class. Of the 17 that are considered to have made their primary contribution to football while with the Lions. So we have 17 players right now who are currently basically Lions that are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But they have announced the 2026 nominees, and 3 of them are former Lions legends: Herman Moore, Lomas Brown, and yes, our all-time leading scorer, Jason Hanson. Moore was a 4-time Pro Bowler and 3-time first-team All-Pro with the Lions, highlighted by a dominant 1995 season where he caught 123 passes for 1,686 yards. Brown, a 7-time Pro Bowler, spent the first 11 years of his career in Detroit and was a key blocker for Hall of Fame running back Barry Sanders. And Brown now works with Dan Miller, calling for the Lions, and he was just inducted to the Lions Ring of Honor this season during the Bears game on the home opener. Jason Hanson played his entire 21-year career with the Lions, a record for one franchise, and ranks 4th all-time in career field goals made in the NFL. Now, we had 2 more people that were nominated, but they were only 1-year starters for the Lions, and those were wide receiver Anquan Bolden in 2016 and kicker David Akers in 2013. They had a 1-year stints in Detroit, but built their Hall of Fame cases with other teams. So what do you guys think? Does Jason Hanson, Lomas Brown, or Herman Moore deserve to be in the NFL Hall of Fame, or do all 3 of them deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Man, it's always tough for me to say somebody shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. And it's really hard. It's really hard for a kicker to get into the Hall of Fame. But Jason Hanson and what he was doing back then was just, I mean, it was incredible, to say the least. He was so consistent, very accurate, and it's mind-numbing that when you go back and think about it or look at his stats, I think his longest kick ever was only 54 yards or 52. And in today's NFL, that's like, okay, it's a chip shot. You know, it seems like for most of these guys. It's a long ball. But you would think that when all of those moments have gone down and all of those, you know, game-winning moments or game-tying moments or last-second field goals, it just seemed bigger and it seemed like he was way further away. But he really wasn't. Majority of his kicks were between, I want to say the 35 and the 42 were the majority of his kicks throughout his career. Put that aside, what he did as a teammate, right? And what he did for the books of Detroit with the score, he's a reason why the Lions won a lot of football games. We didn't lose a lot because of him. We were only in games because of him. So I think he deserves it. He absolutely does. I just know it's so hard. I didn't hear if you answered the one question that I had is, so there's only so many times you can get nominated, and there's only so many years that I believe that the ballot is open. I don't know the specifics to that. Did you find any context on that?
I didn't, but I did look something up about Jason Hanson. So his longest field goal was 62 yards while he was at Washington State University, a marker that remains the Pac-12 conference record. His longest kick in the NFL was 50.
College.
Yep. His longest kick in the NFL was 56 yards with the Detroit Lions. And I'm going to show a little bit of my Lions fandom and how long I've been a fan. So I went to Saginaw. All right. And I went to SVSU, where the Detroit Lions used to have their training camp every year. And I was there for quite a few of the training camp sessions because I lived in Mount Pleasant, Michigan during the time, back in the late 90s. And I was there when Jason Hanson was there kicking field goals, and I watched him one day kick a 65-yard field goal in practice, no problem whatsoever. And I could not believe how far this guy was kicking the ball. And they kind of made a spectacle out of Jason Hanson the day that Barry Sanders didn't show up. Bobby Ross had to come out and get on the mic and say, "I'm sorry, everybody, Barry's not going to be here today. There's a problem with his plane or something." You know, he really didn't give an excuse because everybody was screaming, "Barry, Barry," you know, wanting to see Barry Sanders come out, and he didn't show up, and he never did. And that was the end of the Barry's era. But he was trying to show how far Jason Hanson could kick that day. So that's one of my favorite memories, was watching Jason Hanson. They kept backing him up and backing him up and backing him up, and he was hitting them all. He was absolutely amazing that year. And I just, Jason Hanson's always been one of my favorites. And I always thought it was a shame that he wasn't in the Hall of Fame. And I know it's hard for kickers. I know there's only one or two in there, but I really believe that this guy deserves to be in there.
Well, I guess we'll see what they think, man. We'll see what the voters do. Yeah. So it was Lomas Brown and Herman Moore, and who are the other two?
And then you had Anquan Bolden and what's the other guy's name? David Akers.
Yeah, David Akers ain't making it.
No, I wouldn't think he'd have a shot.
I think Anquan Bolden has a shot, but I mean, what he did was pretty impressive too. I don't have all of his stats in front of me. I don't know if you have all that stuff pulled up, but
no, I don't. But I remember Anquan Bolden's very first catch
as a Lion, or ever.
It was against the Detroit Lions, and he took it to the house for a great big touchdown. His very first pass, or very first catch ever, was a touchdown against the Detroit Lions on opening day. First pass of the game. It was horrible. And then we had him as a Lion for a year, so that always stuck with me.
All right, so who gets in? Who gets in? I guess that'll be, we can only put 4 names up if I do a poll.
If one of these players was to get in just on their merits, I would have to say Lomas Brown, because of how many times he was a Pro Bowler and an All-Pro. That guy was just the pillar of consistency. Herman Moore was a flashy player. Jason Hanson, he was just there forever. And all-time leader in scoring for the Lions. He still is. I don't think anyone's ever going to eclipse that. I mean, he was our kicker for 21 seasons.
Who was the fourth again?
Anquan Bolden.
Yeah, Anquan Bolden. Okay, so you know, I'm not going to do Anquan. I'm not going to do David Akers. I'm going to do the 3 Detroit Lions that were there for a large part of their careers. So which one of the 3 Lions has the best chance?
Yeah, there you go. I do have a little information for you now. There is no limit to the number of times a player can be nominated for the NFL Hall of Fame. However, a player must be eligible by having last played at least 5 seasons prior to the year of consideration. While fans can nominate any qualified person, the final list of nominees is compiled by the Pro Football Hall of Fame Selection Committee. Players who are not selected in one year can be reconsidered in subsequent years as long as they remain eligible. So it sounds like there's no limit to the number of years they can be eligible. And there is no fixed class size. It can be anywhere from 3 to 8 modern era players.
From what Pat Kerwan said on a show, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago. No, I'm sorry. It was during the Hall of Fame week.
Yeah.
That there was a time limit. And he was bringing up that there was a time limit of eligibility for the Hall of Fame because in 2020 or 2021, they put like 20 players into the Hall of Fame. And I think it was part of, it might have been, I don't know if it was a COVID related thing. I don't know why they did it, but they want them to do it again because there's some players that aren't going to make it that probably should have made it. So there's a 5-year waiting period, right? And then you can be first ballot, second ballot, third ballot. Once eligible, a player enters the modern era pool where they can be considered annually. And then the player remains in the modern era category for 25 years. So I think it's the 25-year cap that would be the time limit as far as after that, then they could be considered for the senior committee. So it's not the Pro Football Hall of Fame anymore. It's a senior committee. That's kind of funny, right? Senior. All right, we got NFL 30 at 30 coming up next.
It's game time, Detroit, and you found the right place for the latest Detroit Lions news. So hop on in and take the ride to Super Bowl 60 with Rocked On Detroit Lions. Join Will Rock, Eric Rintamaki, and Riley O'Brien today on the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Good morning.
Okay, so today's first report at 8:30 is a little bit different, but normally we'll do the injury report right here at 8:30 in the morning. But I found this interesting stat that we're going to track the rest of the season, and it's separation report. So the NFL through the PFF obviously is now doing this NFL separation report. So best receivers at beating coverage to get open. And I just thought it'd be kind of fun to roll through and see how many Lions are on the list and where they are on the list. And I'm going through this list and I don't see us anywhere, which I thought was interesting because when you look at some of the other stats that PFF and Next Gen put out, I mean, they're saying that Amon-Ra St. Brown has like 3.8 yards of separation average week 2 versus the Bears. That's a ton. Like that's forever and a day. But Sam Laporta is about, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, I don't know, about 40 players down. And he has a 50% separation percentage. If I just run through the top of the list, it's our guy that both Eric and I liked that we wanted to be a Detroit Lion this year, Jaden Higgins. Number 1. Separation report, 75%. Trey Harris, 71.43. Travis Hunter, 71.43. Trey Tucker, 68.29. Deontay Thornton, 67.74. It's really interesting to me that we don't see players like Jamison Williams. Where's his speed not showing up? It's not showing up. I mean, even Adam Thielen is ahead. I definitely expected to see Amon-Ra St. Brown early on this list, and he wasn't. Sam Laporta is the first one to pop up. J-Mo is 46.15%. So he's getting less separation than Sam Laporta. Amon-Ra St. Brown is 44.74%. So he's getting less separation than J-Mo and Sam Laporta. Very interesting, but that's your 30 at 30. Not quite your 30 at 30. Just a new stat that I'm going to watch throughout the year. All right, did you have anything you wanted to go through next?
I only have the NFC North report.
Let's roll it.
All right.
While he's getting that, I want to see where we're at here. 64% say Lomas Brown would be the guy that gets in. So why not Herman Moore? Like he held a lot of records for the Lions, but again, franchise records are much different than NFL records, right? He had a ton of franchise records, which Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think, is eating them up. Why not? I mean, I loved watching Herman Moore, man. Him and Brett Perriman. Oh, they're so fun to watch. back in the day. All right. Well, you ready to roll?
Yep, here we go. The NFC North report for Thursday. We're going to start out with the Minnesota Vikings. They have a trip across the pond to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and their first practice report of the week came out yesterday. And boy, are they banged up. 6 of their starters, a bunch on defense and a couple on offense, some important ones, did not practice yesterday. So Jonathan Allen, their defensive lineman, did not practice. Jonathan Hargrave with a chest injury did not practice. Donovan Jackson, their starting guard, with a wrist, did not practice. JJ McCarthy, their quarterback, looks like he's going to be out a couple more games. He did not practice. And Andrew Van Ginkel, their edge outside linebacker with a neck, did not practice. And then tight end Ben Urachek, he did not practice with a knee. Pittsburgh Steelers, they had quite a few people that did not practice, 6 of them, but 5 of those people were not injury related, and it was just a rest day for their players. And that is it for the Minnesota Vikings. The Packers, the Green Bay Packers catch the injury bug again. This time it's a starting offensive lineman. Green Bay Packers star right tackle Zach Tom is expected to miss the team's Week 4 Sunday night football matchup against the Dallas Cowboys, according to a report from ESPN's Adam Schefter. Tom is dealing with an oblique injury and aggravated the issue after playing just 1 snap in last week's game against the Browns, a decision head coach Matt LaFleur admitted was a mistake. His absence creates chaos for the offensive line as backup Jordan Morgan struggled badly when forced to play the unfamiliar right tackle position last week. The situation is further complicated by an injury to starting left guard Aaron Banks, whose status for the game is also uncertain. A positive for the Packers is that the Cowboys' pass rush is ranked significantly lower at 26th in the NFL than the Browns' number 1, which may ease the burden on the backup linemen. And another silver lining for the Packers, that they have their bye week after the Cowboys game in Week 5, giving Tom an extended 21-day recovery period before the team's Week 6 contest. Now we're going to go to the Bears. Did the Bears just lose a key starter? I have a little update that will have some Bears fans panicking. Chicago Bears starting right tackle Darnell Wright is in danger of missing the upcoming Week 4 game against the Las Vegas Raiders due to an elbow injury. Wright did not participate in Wednesday's practice, the first practice of the week, which is a concerning sign for his availability on Sunday. He suffered the injury during the second quarter of last week's win against the Dallas Cowboys and did not return to the game. Head coach Ben Johnson was initially hopeful it was not a long-term issue, but stated the team would monitor his progress throughout the week. If Wright is unable to play, backup Theo Bennett would be the next man up to start at right tackle. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the NFC North, other than the Lions, is pretty banged up this week, with the Vikings, the Bears, and the Packers all having some starters that are going to miss some time.
You know what they say about the NFL, right? It's about it's a little bit of luck, and it's a whole lot of execution. You have to capitalize on every opportunity you get at this stage of playing football. The NFL is the cream of the crop, and when you got players that are down, you have to take advantage of that. When a team is hurt, you have to take advantage of that. And so for the Detroit Lions right now, yeah, we're banged up in areas, but largely we're staying fairly healthy. Now, last night's injury report had some people little nerve-wracked, if you will, about Al-Qadim Muhammad. It should be absolutely nothing, right? But the report, when you see Al-Qadim Muhammad pop up with a knee, immediately when I went to the video is to say, hey, the guy didn't practice. It was a walkthrough. So we don't really know. He didn't put pressure on it, so we don't really know. But about these other guys, right? About the NFC North report, when they're banged up, this is when you expect for them to maybe drop a game. You're hoping. right? But if they're anything like the Lions and they have depth, especially like we had depth last season, they probably won't drop a game. Hell, the Vikings don't even have a quarterback other than Carson Wentz right now. He looked really good. So I'm not going to count the Vikings out while McCarthy's down. And quite honestly, Carson's playing way better than what McCarthy has done already. I'd almost leave him in as long as I could and just let McCarthy get totally healthy. I didn't quite hear who was down on the Bears, but it's the same thing. You know, the Lions might be getting a little bit of luck right now. When you look at our schedule and the upcoming schedule, you know, who's down? Let me grab the full NFL injury report.
So all 3 NFC North teams, all of our rivals, all have an offensive guard or offensive tackle that most likely will not play in this week's game.
All the NFC North teams?
Yes.
Yeah. And see, those are the games that I know you guys get sick of me saying this, but like if the Lions were taking on that team, like those are the games that you expect Aiden Hutchinson to have a good game, right? When they're missing one of their tackles or a tackle and a guard, just like last season, the first 5 games of the year, every team we faced was missing one side of their line or a combination of both sides of their offensive line. Aiden took advantage of that. He should take advantage of that. If he didn't take advantage of it, then I'd be really concerned. And you have to take advantage of these opportunities. When I look at, you know, what's coming down the pike for the Lions and the injury report, here, let me see if I can just get week by week open. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the full injury report. Every time I try to open this through the NFL media portal, it always tells me it can't open it on my computer. And I don't understand why. It's like there's something blocking it. And maybe I have something on that the NFL doesn't like. So let me just kind of get through. Eric, what's our schedule? So after the Browns are the Bengals, and then who's after that? Okay, I can't remember.
Oh, here, I got it right in front of me. Yeah, here, I got this sheet. So we got the Browns, the Bengals, at the Chiefs, and then home for Tampa Bay.
So the
and
Chiefs,
then we have
right?
our bye.
Yeah. So looking at the Chiefs right now, like what kind of injuries do they have? And looking at the Browns, what kind of injuries do they have? And the Bengals, because they're coming up next. We know Joe Burrow is going to be down, so that's a little bit of luck, right? When you look at the Chiefs, Travis Jones, defensive tackles out right now. Isaiah Likely for the, I'm sorry, wrong one. When you look at the Chiefs, Nick Bolton, and he's already back to being a full participant. Michael Dana was limited. Christian Fulton was limited. Everybody else is a full participant, and I don't think that they've lost really anybody yet.
Well, the big things for the Chiefs are Xavier Worthy.
He's back,
been down for weeks.
Yep.
I don't know if he's going to play this week or not.
No, he is.
He going to be?
He's back.
But is he going to be 100%? And then,
well, he is right now.
Their other Rashee Rice, who is on suspension through week 6, so he will not be facing us. So that's a good thing for the Lions. And I think that's the big key piece that they've been missing on offense. They have not had a running game whatsoever. Patrick Mahomes is their leading rusher through the season right now. They just cannot find a running game. And I think part of that is due to them losing the offensive lineman that they lost to the Bears, the one that left in free agency.
When is the Cowboys on the list? Are they week like 11 or something?
Let me see. The Cowboys are week 14.
14. So yeah, we're a little bit far out to, I guess, to really look at them, but I mean, they're fairly healthy too. I mean, all these teams are, specifically talking about like the Chiefs, everybody's back. Everybody. Bolton, Marquise Brown, Brian Cook, Michael Dana, Christian Fulton, Creed Humphrey, Patrick Mahomes, obviously, Charles Amenahu, Jalen Royals, Juwan Taylor, Drew Tranquill, Xavier Worthy. They're all back. They're all looking good. They can still do damage. with the team that they have. There's another team I was going to look at here. Where's the Brownies?
We have the Browns this week and the Bengals next week. And the Bengals, they're going to be out without their starting quarterback, Joe Burrow. I mean, there's no way he's going to be back. He's looking at missing 3 months. So I've already kind of taken a sneak peek through DraftKings at some of these game lines. And the Lions for this Sunday against the Browns are a 10-point favorite. And next week on the road against the Bengals, the Lions have opened up as a 7.5-point favorite already.
Yeah, I wouldn't discredit Browning. I mean, not yet, but
I think he's good. But their offensive line has been suspect, and their defense has not been spectacular this year.
Looking at the Browns right now, they have Joe Petonio as limited, Jack Conklin as limited, Grant Delpit safety as limited. So right there, guard and a tackle as limited. It's only Thursday, so if they go into Friday as limited, or if they get downgraded to, doubtful or questionable, then there might be an issue. I'm expecting them to play. Myles Garrett was limited. I'm expecting him to play. David Njoku, Cedric Tillman, all limited. They have what, 8-9 guys on this list, mostly defensive side. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. It looks like on the offense. And Denzel Ward is the only one that did not practice. I'm sorry, Denzel Ward and Shelby Harris are the only two that did not practice yesterday. Denzel Ward's a big one.
Huge.
Yeah, that's a big one. We'll see where that trends. Let's roll right into the Lions real quick as far as the injury report. Now, I did a video yesterday. I have full confidence right now in Al-Qadim Muhammad unless we're told otherwise today. But there was a banger of a headline that we must have missed on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Daniel Thomas, who we just acquired about 4 weeks ago, in week 1 broke a bone in his hand. And then in week 3, broke his forearm.
What?
He's done. He had surgery yesterday morning. I don't know how we missed this, but I said it in the video last night. So he's donezo, man. He's got a broken forearm. If it's anything like Alex Anzalone, that is a 5 to 6 week deal at a minimum. And since he's not a starter, I would expect it to be probably an 8-week thing. It's going to take a little bit longer. He probably won't be back. There could be an injury settlement here, and he might be released. I haven't heard. I thought he was playing okay. This hurts. What are the Lions going to do now? They need another safety. They need another safety that was really good on special teams is what they need. Taylor Decker with a shoulder injury. This is, I know he's listed. He's been listed every week since week 1. When he's not practicing, I know he's listed as a do not practice. A lot of this, I think, is rest, too. And the reason why I go back to that is because Dan Campbell told us from the very beginning, Decker's going to be out. He's not going to practice, but he's a vet. He doesn't really need to, per se. Of course, they want him in there. He knows what he's doing when he shows up on game day. He was the second highest graded tackle against the Ravens in week 3 of all tackles. Second highest graded. Decker is playing out of his mind right now. Had a hell of a game. So we need him to continue doing. And if this therapy, if the way that they're handling him right now is working, continue doing it. Let him get all the rest in the world that he needs. They tend to do that with vets anyway. Whatever they're doing, it's working. Sione Vaki, another big one, man. Late in the first half of week 3, he comes up with a groin. And so no real information. I have not rechecked the wire this morning to see if something's going on. Derek Barnes had a knee injury. This is a new injury as of yesterday. Don't have anything more than that. DJ Reed previously was dealing with a knee injury, now listed with cramping. Cramping, they can get that fixed between minerals and stretching and massaging. hot tub, you name it, they should be able to get that fixed. Here's the thing about Al-Qadim Muhammad and his knee injury. Is it something to worry about? Did he bang knees? Did he take, a helmet to a knee? Did he get rolled up on? I don't know. I tried to go find the play. I tried to see anywhere where I could find him, getting an injury. I couldn't find anything. He finished the game that I know of. He looked happy as hell after the game. So this, to me, being listed in kind of what the report said yesterday and later on in the day too, is they didn't practice. It was just a walkthrough. And so when you don't do a full practice, it's kind of hard to assess where that knee injury really lies. Obviously, if it was something serious or more sinister, I think that the trainers would have probably listed it a little bit. They would have listed it a little bit worse than what it is. I think he's going to be just fine, everybody. I really do. I think the Lions are going to be fine. This is not a bad injury report for us. It's good to see DJ Reed coming off of the report with a knee injury, right? Cramping, a little less serious. I'm more worried about Derek Barnes and his knee. Is it the same knee? I don't know. I don't know that answer. And I don't know if you've seen anything, Eric.
No, I haven't. And to the people in the chat that said bring back CJGJ for a safety, no. He got released by the Texans yesterday. No.
I when I saw that the reason why he got released was because of his attitude in the locker room.
Yeah. Did you see, like, a week before they guaranteed a bunch of his salary and paid him $6 million?
That's probably,
and then they released him a week later.
Yeah, they're getting ready to move him or cut him. They're probably trying to find a trade.
I don't know. The way the article read that I saw, that they wasted $6.25 million by giving him that money and then cutting him.
Either way, if it was guaranteed money, it was going to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because they thought they I don't know if they did a restructure or whatever. They thought he was going to be there for the long term all year long, and something happened. And
it was like I just said, it was his locker room decorum.
Yeah.
He was a problem in the locker room. He was causing issues. He was voicing his not playing or not being part of the team and kind of telling dudes what to do. Remember when him and Kirby Joseph got into it on the sideline and I was at the game and I filmed it and then it went viral after the game? That's CJGJ. He likes to talk too much. He likes to tell everybody what to do, apparently. That's what I read yesterday. So I think that this is an issue that's been going on. It just finally came to a head where they had enough. Maybe some teammates spoke up and said enough's enough and went and told the, coaches or whomever and said, look, this is a problem.
Yeah.
To the salary component, I don't know this for a fact, but what I suspect here is they're getting ready to cut him or move him, pay him what is owed on his contract or portion thereof. There may be a component there that helps with how it hits the rest of the cap. You know what I'm saying? When you release a player and they have owed money for dead cap, it can go like one of two ways. I think it can go out for the next 2 seasons or all in one season. So there may have been a financial gain that they, by doing it this way. I'm not real sure. That's just my guess. Or maybe they're trying to find trade bait. Maybe no one wanted to trade.
Yeah. Well, to go along with all this injury news, I have a little bit of something. The Detroit Lions made a free agent signing on Wednesday. The Detroit Lions announced 2 roster moves on Wednesday to add depth to their offense and to the defense. Veteran tight end Ross Dwelley was signed to the 53-man active roster. The Dwelley signing provides depth at the position after Shane Zylstra was placed on injured reserve. The team also signed 9-year veteran defensive lineman Quinton Jefferson to the practice squad. That is the one we were talking about yesterday. Jefferson is noted for his experience and his versatility with the ability to play both defensive tackle and on the edge. So everyone worrying about us getting an edge, there we go. We signed one to the practice squad.
Who was the edge? What was his name?
Quinton Jefferson, and he's a 9-year veteran.
Quinton Jefferson. I haven't looked him up yet.
Yeah. I forgot I had that little tidbit on the Lions this morning.
Former Seahawk here. Let's take a quick inside look here at Mr. Jefferson. Let's go to PFF. Just curious. Man, I've got such a terrible headache today.
Oh, I'm hearing you. They finished.
You had tooth work yesterday, so that's
they finished up my oral surgery stuff yesterday, and I had one heck of a headache going to bed.
Yeah, I slept with a new pillow.
My pillow. That's the only way to go. I even take my pillow, and I have a bunch of them, and I'll put 2 of them in my suitcase, and they go everywhere with me. I will not travel without a my pillow. I won't do it because I'll wake up, my neck's all funky.
Is that different from a your pillow?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, it's my pillow.
Gotcha.
And
it's not his pillow; it's your pillow.
My pillow, and it's got.
Do they have a her pillow?
I don't think so, but they got my pillow, and it's got Detroit Lions pillow cover on it, the whole ball of wax. I ride in style.
Yeah, he's not lying. So when Eric and I have stayed at Airbnbs, this dude will go right to his bed. He puts his pillow out. He puts his blanket out. Yeah. He has his Detroit Lions pajamas.
Everything.
He's rocking his Detroit Lions boxers.
Yep.
And the only thing he's missing is a Detroit Lions toothbrush.
Oh, I got one.
Oh, shit. See, there you
go. And
a
toothbruch holder, too. I got it all.
All right, so not great grades for this dude. Last year, he got in 252 snaps. Terrible grades. I mean, 47 in run defense, 55 in pass rush, overall 50.5. Had 7 tackles, 2 sacks, 5 assists. But he's a vet, okay? And this is why I'm going to say PFF is full of you-know-what. When you go back a year before, his pass rush grade was a lot better. It was 73.2. When you go back to 2022, it fell off the face of the earth again. But if you look at the last few seasons, I mean, even going back to 2021, 252 snaps. 2022. I'm sorry. Here we go. Let me go back. 2021, 686 snaps. So more of probably half a season, probably 50% rotation. 2022, 566 and 6 sacks. 2023, 468 snaps with 8 sacks. I mean, that's
pretty good.
That's better, right? I mean, that's only about a third or I don't know, 2/5 of a season of snaps or whatever. And then if you look at 2024, 252 snaps, 2 sacks. So every game and a half, he's getting a sack last year, roughly. Every 2 games. So here's what I would say about Quinton. Because he's a vet and you're coming into a defense that is fairly loaded, right? Has good players everywhere. It's easier to insert a vet that knows ball, that knows and understands scheme changes and what they're trying to accomplish as a whole. It's easier to put a guy into that mix than it is to take a young guy that doesn't have the experience and say, we need you to go play 30 snaps. Usually doesn't work out, right? So clearly he's on the practice squad right now. He's not up just yet. He did come in Tuesday, right?
Yeah, he came in Tuesday for a workout, got signed on Wednesday. So it's going to be a week or 2 acclimation just to even learn the playbook. It'll be a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would see him being a practice squad warrior for a little bit. Now, we don't have to worry about him getting poached or anything because he's a vet. With Tyler Lacey and Wheat and them having a few weeks in this defense already, and they were acclimated. I think both were acclimated for the Ravens game. Both of them were elevated for the Ravens game. I think that we're good there. I really think that we're good there.
Have you seen what those two got for snaps and what they did in the game?
No, we can look it up right now.
Awesome. Because I know I saw, was it Lacey in on a couple of tackles? So I'm pretty sure it was Lacey. It was one of them.
Okay, so on the season, 19 snaps. That had to be Monday night. He had one tackle. Grades not good, hovering in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't remember. Was it Tyrus Wheat? Tyrus?
Yeah.
Wheat?
Yeah, Tyrus.
There we go. Tyrus Wheat. 2 snaps.
Oh, 2 snaps. Wow.
2 snaps. So no stats, 2 snaps.
Yeah, just getting his feet wet, both of them.
Yeah. But it's good to have some vets, man. It's good. Well, these guys have been around for 2 or 3 seasons. The other guy, Quinton, he's been around for, was it 9 seasons? So it's good to have some vets around that if you need them in a pinch, they know what to do. You know, there's the curve is a little bit less to get these guys ramped up and ready to go. And like we have the right defensive makeup. I don't think it's going to take long. I'll be right back with 30 at 9 o'clock.
It's game time, Detroit, and you found the right place for the latest Detroit Lions news. So hop on in and take the ride to Super Bowl 60 with Rocked On Detroit Lions. Join Will Rock, Eric Rintamaki, and Riley O'Brien today on the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Good morning.
All right, Jared Goff still not getting any love. For some reason, Jordan Love is getting all the love in the NFC North. Talking about quarterback rankings ahead of week 4. You won't believe who's at number 1 right now. Oh, there you are. You won't believe who's at number 1. Just take a guess. If you didn't open up the link to quarterback rankings, just take a guess at who you think is number 1 in the league right now.
Someone for the Buffalo Bills.
Well, that would be Josh Allen, right?
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
What if I said no?
He's got to be top 2 or 3.
Maybe. Let's do this. Let's kill this poll. Let's do another one. I haven't paid attention to ads or people in how many people do we even have in right now?
So we got about 100. We had just over 100 a minute ago, and we had 62 likes, I believe.
All right. It's 9 o'clock, so we'd like to be at 75%. I'll give you guys like 5 minutes. Get the likes to 75% of how many people we have in, so that'd be 75. We'll kill the ads the rest of the day. That's this 9 o'clock's our last cutoff so that we can try to make it happen. Here's the poll. So if you haven't looked it up, who's number 1 quarterback ranking for week 4? Who do you think it is? Oh, wait. I'm going to do a Q&A. I'm not going to do a poll.
It can't be Lamar.
You would think. All right, here you go. There's the Q&A. I'm curious what you guys think. So no cheating, no looking it up. You know, just put your best guess out there.
I'll say this. If it's Lamar, they must not be counting holding on to the ball too long and taking unnecessary sacks 7 times in a game.
Hey, that's
and
what
throwing 2 balls that should have been intercepted and fumbling. Are they not counting any of that stuff in?
Hey, I didn't say it was Lamar.
I'm thinking that's who it is.
I didn't say that. You said that. I didn't say
That's my guess is Lamar.
All right, so we got Carson Wentz, Lamar, or Jared, Caleb. That must be Williams. Man, you guys are way off. I can't tell you, Jack, because then you'll look it up.
Well, I'll tell you what, Caleb Williams was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. And then the week before, it was Jared Goff. And the week before, it was J.J. McCarthy. So all 3 starting quarterbacks for the NFC North have been the NFC offensive player of the week. You know who hasn't been?
Who?
Jordan Love. Because they've only scored 64 points this year, while the Detroit Lions have scored over 100.
So there's NFL quarterback rankings week 4.
Okay.
So Jack 2125 was asking NFL, PFF, or ESPN. I don't have the other ones open. I have one of them open. I don't have the other ones, and I'm not finding it quick enough. So here's what I'm going to do, because this is supposed to be 30 at 30. It's not just whatever. We're talking about it. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, the guy that I said last year was going to have a great year, and I said this year was going to have a great year. Got started a little rocky, I think, but number 1 right now by PFF for quarterback rankings. Now, here's the problem. Like, it does not, you know what? I'm just going to open up the
Is it
Excel.
just for the week or is it for the season?
It's for week 4.
Okay.
Now, obviously, you know, those stats, those numbers, I mean, everything that you go through, it should carry from week to week, because you have to do good in week 1, 2, and 3 to be number 1 for week 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that here, I just opened up the Excel spreadsheet because that'll get me, I can look at more. It's not letting me, I don't know, PFF's broken. That or my screen sizing just doesn't like it. Now that I can see this, I can see everything that they're grading out here. One sec. Okay. So there's, I don't know, looks like 8, 9, 10 tiers here, or things that they're evaluating, if you will. Dropbacks, quarterback passing grade, team EPA per dropback, clean pocket, under pressure, versus the blitz, versus the non-blitz, play action, no play action, and then 10-plus yard throws, or explosives, if you count explosives at 10-plus. And scroll down. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Bigger yet. There we go. Now we're locked in. So Sam Darnold at number 1 and Matthew Stafford at number 2. Dak Prescott at number 3. And then there's your guy, Josh Allen, at number 4.
Oh, wow.
Daniel Jones at number 5. You know why? I mean, I get that they have a list. They've made the list. They've checked it twice. They're trying to figure out who's naughty or nice. Why is Joe Burrow listed on the list? He's not even playing.
Yeah.
And he's number 6. He shouldn't even be on the list. Jordan Love at number 7. Herbert, number 8. Kyler Murray at number 9. Mac Jones at number 10. How in the HW hockey stick is Caleb Williams at number 11 ahead of Jared Goff? How? Jared Goff's at 17. 17. And they're saying that he has a quarterback passing grade of a 68.5. How is that possible?
Wow. Because at one point in that game, didn't he have 13 straight completions?
Something like that, but his completion percentage is 77.9.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this quarterback passing grade is. All right, so what is his passing rating? His passing rating is 120.2.
Yeah. Jared Goff has the highest completion percentage in the league through 3 weeks.
So again, how is he at 17? I don't know who's making these lists. I hope they put their email in it. So I'd love to send them an email. Quarterback.
The PFF I'm looking at has Jared Goff as the 22nd quarterback.
Yeah, this is week 4. This is just week 4.
Oh, just week 4. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's a hyperlink in the sheet.
Yeah.
Clean pocket. Jared Goff has 79.1 grade. I'm not even sure what that means. Under pressure, it must be percentage. 79% of the time. He's under pressure 45% of the time. Versus the blitz, 73.6. Versus the non-blitz, I mean, he should be damn near perfect versus the non-blitz. Play action, 68. No play action, 66.7. And then 10-plus air yards, 84.2, which should be one of the highest numbers. I don't get it, man. I don't understand this. I don't get how they come up with these rankings. It makes zero sense to me. Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback in this league. He has been for 3 seasons. In my opinion, he is a top 5 quarterback right now, and arguably top 3. The guy doesn't lose. You know, even when he's having a crap game, he finds a way to win. He finds a way to turn it around. He gets his guys to make plays. Every time you hear these guys talk, it's always about, you know, how much they love JG, and, you know, JG's one of them. And, you know, like Montgomery he said something like, you know, that what did he say? This is paraphrasing, so it's not verbatim. He's like, you know, that one white boy that just lives on the outside or the outskirts of the hood or whatever he said. And then you got all your black friends, and he's that one white dude with the black friends, and he's just like you guys. He's just like one of the guys. It's like, that's JG. That's what Montgomery said about him, I think last week. I don't remember what the show was or where he said it. It was on some podcast. But that's how they view JG in the locker room. That's how they view JG outside. That's how they view JG, just one of the guys, man. Just one of the guys out there making plays.
Did you get to watch the St. Brown Brothers podcast with David Montgomery yesterday?
I watched part of it. I didn't watch it all. I caught a couple of quick clips.
I laughed so hard. David Montgomery is the funniest dude on the planet. He is so funny. And the way he talks about Jared Goff, that he buys his shirts at Walmart and khaki pants and comes in, he has no bling, and and he's like, you know, Jared does Jared, I do me. And he's talking about how he wears all the chains and the fancy clothes and has a guy that helps him pick out all his clothes, and talking about certain brands of clothes. Oh God, it was so funny.
See, but JG's just your...
And don't call David Montgomery a power back. He gets pissed. He gets mad. And Equanimous, oh my God. If David Montgomery would have been in the same room with him, he'd have punched him in the face because he kept calling him a power back.
So the thing about that I watched for that show is there was a couple of clips that I caught, and he was talking about scoring or not scoring. And he said, had you not scored on that one run that he did end up scoring, he said, if JG told you to score, what would you have done? He's like, I would have scored. Yeah, I definitely would have scored.
He said he doesn't care if he's even supposed to go down. He doesn't care how many timeouts they got. He's scoring.
Yeah.
You give me the ball, I'm scoring. You give me the ball, I'm scoring. You don't want me to score? Give the ball to somebody else because I'm scoring. That is his. I love it. Dude, I loved when he scored there. I didn't, you know, Jared Goff's going, get down, get down, get down, get down. No, they had 3 timeouts. Score.
I think Jared after the game said that he may have made a mistake.
Yeah,
and that
he didn't realize they had 3 timeouts.
That was the correct, you know, the correct way to go there for them.
Saint even asked him straight up. He's like, hey, if they only would have had 1 timeout or no timeouts left, would you have still went to score? Oh, you give me the ball, I'm going to score. He was like, no ifs, ands, or buts. You give David Montgomery the ball, he is going to try to score no matter what. He will not do I don't think he could be a quarterback. I don't think he could do the kneel down at the end of the game to win the game.
No, he'd still try to take it upfield.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's listen to what JG had to say about this upcoming game. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to see this one yet or watch it, but it's about 4 minutes long, so we'll do a little movie day here.
Awesome. I have not seen this.
And I'll I'll adjust. I'm going to listen on the back end and make sure that the volume is good. They usually are. I know we've had like 4 people out of 7,000 complain of audio. So if I'm not getting it from everybody, it can't just be us. Here we go. JG on the Browns.
You look at Cleveland and #1 overall defense, #1 against the run. I think they're 4 against the pass. When you watch the film on them, what's the one thing, Jared, maybe that stands out the most about them?
Geez, one thing, I don't know. They're sound. They play hard. They rush hard. Obviously, Miles is a big part of that. They're good in the back end too. They're really good in the back end. They're kind of good at every spot, and that's what these good defenses typically are, and they're no different.
When you watched the film of your game Monday night versus Baltimore, how much did you appreciate just how well that line played really across the board? Yeah,
they really did. And it's 2 weeks in a row now they've done that. And another tall test for them this week, and I'm excited to see them come out and do it again.
Specifically, what do you think of the progress that Tate has made over the last couple?
Yeah, it's been great. And it's just reps, man. It really is. For any of these young guys, it's just more reps he gets, the better he's going to be. And I think he's played great.
What has Graham added to their defensive front?
Who? The rookie? I'm sorry, I meant our Graham. Yeah, he's a good player too. Yeah, he's a really good player. Gets off the ball fast. He's athletic. He can do everything. He's kind of a perfect 3 technique, and is a tough guy to block. I won't be blocking him, but our guys will.
When you have an Aleem and Hutch situation, when you have a really talented guy inside next to a really talented edge rusher, just the dynamic of that and how difficult that is to prepare for him, and what are the challenges of that?
Yeah, well, certainly you can't slide to both of them, so they'll line up opposite each other, and it leaves somebody one-on-one, and it's our guys' job to go win those one-on-ones. And those guys are good players, but we got good players too.
Speaking of your Graham, Jared, when he's playing as soundly as he has the past 2 games, how do you see that stabilize Christian and Tate?
Yeah, it helps a ton. When he's on it, it really helps a ton. It helps all of us. Helps me a ton when he's on it and he's doing what he needs to do and playing well. But really above the neck, when he's able to get those points out and direct traffic a little bit up front, it helps everybody and certainly helps those guards.
How did you see the work on communication after week 1 come to life back on the road on Monday night?
Yeah, shoot. I mean, I don't think we had any pre-snap penalties. Got in and out of plays pretty good. Communicated well. There might have been one where we didn't communicate great, but that can happen on the road. But yeah, dude, it was a good bounce back for us from that first week of not doing that to a high level.
Was it just about reps, like you said with Tate too, just like getting used to the guys?
It wasn't Tate. I mean,
not just Tate. I meant just like reps with the new look offensive line.
Sure. I think. Yeah, you'd like to continue to get better at it, though. I think there's still room to improve in that area, and but yeah, the O-line's starting to gel together now. You can see it, and they feel good next to each other, it seems. And yeah, I thought it was great the other night.
Jared, 937 yards, I think, 90 points the last 2 weeks. Is this a good 2-week stretch as you guys have been on since you've been here?
I don't know. It feels like it. Yeah, it's been pretty good. Again, another tall test this week, and got to try to do it again.
Jared, had a lot of success stopping the run. I'm just curious if there's anything you can do operationally as a quarterback to positively influence your team's game.
Ooh, good question. I mean, we have a lot of plays where we call 2 different runs, and I got to get to the right one. That's not extremely high level, but it's part of my job. And then some of the fakes. If I can hold a backside end with a fake, that's another part of my job. But other than that, hand it off where it needs to be handed off and get out of the way.
Can you talk about the value of play sequencing and how it puts stress on the defense, knowing that you guys can run multiple things, show something early in the game, and then basically play off of that out of the same package, same format?
Yeah, that's like kind of the whole thing. You'd like to do is set things up throughout a game, and good offenses do that, good play callers do that, and the last 2 weeks certainly we've done a good job of that, and show them something all game and then get to something else, or change tempos out of the huddle, all sorts of different things we can do, motions, shifts, the whole thing, and yeah, it keeps defenses on their heels.
Jared, I got to hear a little label. At what point did you understand and recognize that Jahmyr Gibbs and Demo Montgomery, that tandem could just be special? Like, was it a shift?
Yeah, I mean, the day they got here, both of them. I saw Demo from across the field for years in Chicago, and I was shocked when they let him walk And then shoot, when we landed him, it was like, holy smokes, we just got one of the best backs in the league. And then you draft Gibbs, and it's like, wow, we got two of the best backs in the league. And they feed off each other. They're both obviously incredibly hardworking and good players, but I think the energy, they kind of feed off each other. One of them's running well, the other guy wants to run well too, and they're as good as it gets.
All right, we're back. JG, man, talking about this Browns defense. I don't think that any of us,
So many good pass rushers.
I don't think that any of us are going to deny the fact that this is the absolute best defense we are going to face so far. And it might be the best defense in the league. The whole Denzel Ward thing is big, but it's not big enough. Them being down one player it's not big enough. So let's recap what JG said, kind of talk it out here. He initially said, yeah, when you asked a very simple question, what do you think about the defense that you're going to go up against this week? And he says they're sound. They play sound. They rush hard. Their back end is good. That's what you expect, right? I mean, you expect from front to back to front, side to side, you need to have playmakers in all spots to be able to support the players around you, right? It's not about just having two really good players in one area, and you know what I'm talking about. And the reason why I bring that up, look at your Lions defense. Look at what Brad Holmes has put on the field. Why are the Browns having so much success right now? Well, number one, they've had a pretty, how do I put it? They've had a lot of number one picks. You know what I mean? Like they've first round picks, high first round picks. So they've had a pretty good opportunity, I guess is where I was going with that, to build a good defense. Now, obviously you have to hit, right? You have to hit, and you have to make sure that the draft picks you bring in fit the scheme and can adapt and overcome and do all the things that you need them to do. And that's exactly why I'm bringing up Brad Holmes in this instance, because it's exactly what they've done. They've given their team plenty of opportunity to be the best defense out there. I'll kill the ads for you guys. I'll take care of it. There you go. They've given our defense plenty of opportunity to be one of the best defenses in the league. But when you look around our defense and you see Brian Branch, and then you see Kirby Joseph, and I know TA's taken a little bit, but he'll be fine. DJ Reed, Amik Robertson. I mean, even if we didn't have TA and we just had DJ Reed and Amik Robertson, that's pretty solid anyway, right? Our back end depth on our corners is not as deep as I would like to see. That might be the only failure, but that's because Ennis Rakestraw is injured 2 years in a row. Jack Campbell in the middle, Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes when he's healthy. Our defense is so deep in the middle. And you got Aiden on one side, and Al-Qudi Muhammad had a great one game, but I'm not gonna put any sort of crown on his head yet. He has to prove it game in and game out. There's a reason why he's a 9-year vet that kind of bounced around a little bit. Hopefully he's done bouncing and he's here for, a minute. I say all that to say this: their defense is built in a way that is very similar to the Lions defense. They have playmakers everywhere, and you have to account for everybody on every play. It's not just Myles Garrett, but Myles Garrett is a big problem. And when Myles Garrett's a big problem, that means the guys downfield, if they're able to do their job, are a big problem too. And vice versa. If the Lions do double team Myles a lot, and I would expect that they probably will, now you have to worry about Malik Collins and Mason Graham and Isaiah McGuire that are all pretty good football players too. Their defensive line is pretty stout. They've done an excellent job at building and backing up their starters with good quality depth. But then they add a guy like Carson Sweshinger, who's an amazing linebacker. Devin Bush, who's been around for a while. Denzel Ward, I mean, one of the best best corners in the game. Grant Delpit's been around a long time. one of the best safeties in the game. Greg Newsome. I mean, the list goes on. They have a pretty impressive defense. But again, that's why I say the Lions do too. And that's what we've been building towards. And I would say that we are close, if not as good or better than the Browns when we play our game. When you look at our roster in the depth chart, it looks like a bunch of misfits when you look at the roster. They don't play like misfits, do they? They don't play like a bunch of no-names. Just because we don't know the name or you don't know the name doesn't mean that they can't play the game. He also said that before I go on, Eric, what are your comments on the defense after he said, they're sound, they rush hard, the back end is good, and then, me kind of painting the picture of, there's sound everywhere on the front and across the defense, so they've got playmakers everywhere, and so do the Lions, and that's exactly why Brad built it that way. So when you look at the Browns and what they've done, even though they are the Browns, they have built a high-quality defense. And there's a reason why this blueprint works.
Yeah. Well, if you listen to Jared Goff, he talked about a couple of things. He said they had no pre-snap penalties or communication issues at the Ravens, and that's a very hard place to play. And one of the things I took out of this was he said that they had lots of motions and shifts to keep the defense guessing. So I'm guessing that's exactly what they're going to do against the Browns. The Browns aren't going to know what's coming. They're going to do the same play with the same motions and run something completely different out of the exact same play. And that's where we have the upper hand on the Browns defense, I think, is that they're going to be guessing the whole game and hoping that we run something the same way twice, because the Lions really are, man, they must have the thickest playbook you've ever seen for the Detroit Lions this year. And this Browns defense.
So what you're saying is John Morton has to be the mixologist. He has to be able to mix it up.
I think I don't think he's a mixologist. I think he's that wizard turning lead into gold. I mean, he's got the big wizard hat and the whole ball of wax, man. I think he's the wizard, not the mixologist. I think he's doing things Ben Johnson never dreamed of. I mean, he put up 90 points in 2 games. Ben Johnson never did that with all this same talent. So, was it the defenses we played, or was it what he was doing on offense? Because we played what most people would say is one very good team and one crappy team. Because after we played the Bears, everybody's like, oh, it's just the Bears. But then we play the Ravens at the Ravens, and it wasn't so much, oh, it's just the Bears anymore, especially after the Bears go on and destroy the Dallas Cowboys the following week. So that gives us even a little more street cred. Now,
let's hold on, pause there for a sec, because, when they say just the Bears, look, the Bears have a really good defense on paper, right? They have some really good playmakers. Yeah, we picked them apart, but their coach didn't have them prepared. Had you had them prepared, that's a different game. And it'll be a different game in week 18, I promise you.
Yes.
It'll be a much tighter game. We just caught them with, they were just putting their socks on when we entered the locker room, and we were out of the locker room before they even had their cleats on. That's the kind of game that was. They were half dressed. We finished undressing them on the field.
And this weekend, even though the Lions are favored by 10 at home right now, you have to remember that Jim Schwartz is our former coach. He would love nothing more than to come in and beat the Detroit Lions, just like the Packers did, and just like they beat the Packers. Because you know what? The Packers came to play the Lions. That was, to them, that was their Super Bowl, because that's the first game of the year. They're going to do whatever it takes to beat the Detroit Lions, because the Detroit Lions are on top. They are hunting the Detroit Lions. So Jim Schwartz is going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, Jim Schwartz, man, he's a hell of a defensive coordinator, man. He's really good. Been super impressed with what he's done after being the head coach of the Lions. He's done an excellent job. He also goes in to say he was happy with our offensive line. Obviously, another big test this week. Tate Ratledge doing great. Obviously, a lot more room to grow. The Mason Graham question for the Browns, kind of answered that one already. You have to worry about him. He's as legit as they come. Here's one thing that I was a little surprised. Now, maybe this is just a little bit of a softball from, I'm gonna pop my back. A softball from Jared Goff to say, hey, we're not going to be able to double team everybody. We're not going to be able to slide to both sides. You can't. Honestly, you can't slide to both sides. But I'm expecting the Lions to try to double up Miles as much as they can. I'm seeing more 22, 21 personnel in this game, more backs, more tight ends, and I think that it kind of speaks to what the moves were. See, I pay attention to the moves. What the Lions are doing, signing another tight end, tells me that they're going to go a little bit bigger this week, and they need guys to get up and to get ready. You're probably going to see Manu in on a few extra plays. Is what you need. If it were me, I would have Manu and Taylor Decker on that left side or wherever Miles is lined up. Manu, I would treat him like a traveling corner. Manu, your job is to go and follow Myles Garrett and just be that extra big body. Could he take him one-on-one? No. But you're talking a 6'7", 350-pound man standing next to a 6'4", 330-pound man. Myles Garrett's now going to have to move almost 700 pounds of men. That's what I would do. That would be my number one goal. And then if you've got two back sets, extra tight ends, whatever you're doing, you need to have somebody backing up Graham or Tate or Mahogany and picking up whatever happens through the middle of that defense. Maybe this is a situation where we're passing a little bit more, and it could be if we're not able to get the run game going because of how stout that their defense is through the center of that defense. So we'll see where that goes. But the one-on-one options with Myles Garrett can't happen. You cannot let this guy be singled up against anybody. Productions he feels have been good. No pre-snap penalties. Last week he felt that maybe they didn't show up on one play where the communication was bad. That this is going to have to be a game where, again, no failures in communication. Play sequencing, he was asked about that. I didn't hear the total answer, but what I would grab from that is, yeah, you have to be able to sequence this offense in a way that keeps the defense guessing, right? You just can't hand the ball off 9 times to Jahmyr Gibbs, in the first 12 plays. You can't do that. You can't hand the ball off to Montgomery 9 times in the first 12 and think that you're going to play power football against this defense. I'm sorry, Montgomery's not big enough. He's a hell of a running back. He's not big enough to be a power back. I always say that he's more of the power back against the goal line, but he is shifty as all get out. Like, just look at the way that he works through the line this past weekend. He's just not fast enough, like Gibbs. Like Gibbs would have been caught from behind. Monty's just not fast enough, and that's why he gets more of that power back, logo, if you will, because he's just not fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a tough game for this offense. This is going to be the true test. I do not believe for 1 minute that the Browns have enough offensive firepower to hurt us. I don't believe that. And so I'm expecting a low-scoring game from that perspective for the Browns. I think the Lions have enough firepower, even with a healthy secondary for the Browns. I think that we have enough firepower to get deep. And Jared Goff's going to have to get that ball out in 2.5 seconds. That's what I would be working on all week. Shotgun, 2 steps, out. Shotgun, 3 steps, out.
Yeah.
That's pull a Lamar. When Lamar's getting that ball out quick, you bring everybody in tight, you run some vertical seam routes, and you just get these guys out in space. We have the ability to create separation with speed and correct route running. And I think our guys are some of the best route runners in the league, man. I mean, just watching them, it's like watching I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Hold on, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. It's like listening to Andrea Bocelli. If you've never listened to him, if you listen to that, I mean, the way that he sings, it's incredible. He's a Portuguese singer. He's blind. It's amazing. He's incredible.
Yeah.
So that's what it's like listening to something. It's like just very well orchestrated, you know?
I have an idea for you, Will.
Uh-oh.
What if the Detroit Lions elevate Dan Skipper this week and they pull Skipper and Manu in and they run with 7 blockers?
I mean, okay, you could do it, but you really can't do it.
So basically 2 tackles on each side.
Yeah, it'd be 2 swing tackles.
Yeah, but you just have you're basically making Skip into a tight end.
Yeah, see, I would just put my tight end in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose. You can't lose a weapon. So you can have 5.
Well,
you can have 5 offensive weapons on the
Skip
field.
has caught the ball.
He ain't catching the ball in this game. You have well, okay, he could, but I doubtful.
He could.
You have 5 offensive weapons on any play, and so you bring in a tackle. Now you have 4. Right? You can make someone eligible. Far and few between is that going to ever get pulled off. These guys are too smart. If you do bring in extra tackles, I like the theory there. I love it. Of bringing in, some extra tackles on given plays. I think that'll be goal line stuff. That'll be, the 5-yard line. You're getting ready to score, and you bring in a couple extra tackles. You just play power football. I don't think that we're going to have any Maryland eyes going on in this game, but I've been surprised before.
Imagine a Maryland eye with Manu and Skip in the backfield as the running backs.
Oh, that I would love to see.
You hand the ball off to Manu.
I would love to see that. We're gonna have to send Johnny Morton an email and say, hey, here, I got a play for you.
Yeah, we got something for you.
I got a play for you.
It's the Ohio tush push.
Yeah.
The Ohio eye.
We're gonna call it the hold on. It's coming to me. We're going to call it the skid mark. The brownie skid mark. That's what we're going to call it. A brownie skid mark. All right. Anyway, Jack Campbell. We'll get to him in just a second. I'm going to pass on the 9:30 at 30 because honestly, I don't think I have another one for today. The other one went a little bit long. Let me just go through the sheet here. What am I forgetting? Tonight, Gripes and Hype will be tonight. I was just too gassed last night, man. Long days. We'll do Gripes and Hype tonight, but it's also going to be the first look at your keys to the game. So I have some good stuff already prepared, and I'll keep working throughout the day today to get some more things added to my sheet. The full keys to the game will come out on Saturday. The article will also come out on Saturday. The offensive keys to the game should drop on Sunday, and I'm going to try to have a video done for that at the same time. As we get going through the season, things are going to start to link up. Like I said, I'm about 3 weeks behind. So I'm 3 weeks behind for everything that I wanted to have done for this season, but I'm going to slowly continue to integrate more into the plan, and I have to readjust a few things. I do want to highlight Tim Twentyman here. So we're talking about the defense. Now, Tim Twentyman, I love his work, does a great job. Love everything he does. He's his notebook. I don't know if I've ever seen the notebook segment by Tim Twentyman before, but this came out yesterday at 7:30 p.m. And he says, Lions preparing for a tough test in the Browns defense. The Detroit Lions offense has been rolling the last 2 weeks in wins over the Chicago Bears and Baltimore Ravens. Eric, by the way, this is
yeah, I got it open.
Okay. Where was I? Detroit has racked up 937 yards of offense and has scored 90 points in the last 2 outings. That's insane. The last time a Lions offense has generated at least 900 yards and 90 points in back-to-back contests, 1950. 1950. So you're telling me there's a chance that we might have a better offense than last year? I can't believe it.
You know, while everyone else was focused on our coordinators, I don't think they realized you added a couple more playmakers and some offensive linemen that just might be good.
Yeah.
And now you're giving them another year in this system for all the playmakers, man. This might be a historic offense this year.
It could be, and I think it's going to line right up with an historic defense. So he goes on to say that the offense will certainly be tested on Sunday at Ford Field as the Lions welcome the Cleveland defense. Allergies are just going nuts. I'm itchy today. I'm like Dan Campbell up at the podium. He's just all itchy, you know? So the Cleveland defense ranked among the league in the best. The Browns are 1-2. They're the number 1 in total defense, only allowing 204.3 yards. Number 1 against the run, allowing 57.3 yards per game. And number 4 against the pass, allowing 147 yards per game. So this is the ultimate test. If the Lions go in and burn the Browns down, I don't see how anyone's going to stop us. I really don't. If you remember during the preseason, I went 16-1. During the preseason, how many wins and losses are we going to have? I went 16-1 with our only loss coming against Chicago in Week 18 because we were resting everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If the Lions beat the Browns on Sunday, well, let me say that again. When the Lions beat the Browns on Sunday, I don't see another defense that's going to be able to stop us. The only thing that's going to stop us is us. The only thing that really would stop us would be injuries, but it's us, is the team stopping themselves. Now, after Jared Goff was held clean again with no sacks allowed for the last 2 weeks, Detroit's offensive line squares off against Myles Garrett and this aggressive and productive defensive front. Garrett has a sack in each of Cleveland's first 3 contests. Here's a quote from Scotty Montgomery. He says, a lot of people, when they talk about Cleveland, a lot of people focus on what's happening on the edge, their ability to rush the passer. Our main focus is not just the edge. Of course, a lot of respect for the edge players, but when you look at their interior and how their defensive tackles pierced the line of scrimmage, and that was it. It didn't go on. I guess it didn't go on. Okay. I get what he's saying. But again, this is why I always say the most important part of the defense is the interior, right? That's your quickest, most effective way to the quarterback. And if you have good guys that can play at a high rate, get off the snap clean, knife through those guards and in the center, and just get a hand. Even if you can just get a hand outstretched enough to disrupt the play, that's when the edge can do some real damage. Because everyone starts to scramble and the line starts to collapse. You break that center link, and if you're able to get through that line at all, it just crumbles. This is a huge test for Graham. Like he's going to have to come in on, a little extra creatine or something. I don't know. He's going to have to do something. He's going to have to eat an extra box of Wheaties. I don't know. Something, because this is not going to be easy. The Browns have generated the most negative plays on defense with 26 in the NFL this season. They are number 1 in defense on first down, allowing an average under 3 yards per play. Quote by Graham Glasgow, he said, when you watch them on film, they are flying off the ball and they are penetrating. Half the time, they are playing the run on the way to the quarterback, and they look impressive. You read that again. Half the time, they are playing the run on the way to the quarterback. I love that comment, and it's exactly what I want our defense to be able to do. Essentially, eyes are on the quarterback, or, eyes are on the ball carrier, eyes are on the ball. You're headed towards the quarterback, and then you switch, mid-motion to the ball carrier in whatever direction the ball carrier's going. It's exactly how you want to dominate up front. Receiver blocking is going to be big. Montgomery has the receivers coach. Montgomery was the receivers coach in Pittsburgh when arguably the best blocking receiver in the history of the game, Hines Ward, was a Steeler. Ward combined both physicality and the want to as a blocker in the run game that has really been unmatched until now. With the Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and what he has become is now the NFL standard currently for a receiver, showing the physicality as a run blocker. He really does an excellent job, man. And Jamo's trying. He's getting better. He's trying. Sometimes Jamo just kind of like puts himself in front of somebody, like, hey, I'm here, hanging out. You got to go out. You got to put some hands on him, man. But I think he's done a good job at not creating a penalty, where it could turn into a hold really quickly. So he's doing a great job there. Here's another quote by Dan Campbell. He says, that's what all of those receivers in that room. That's what all those receivers do in that room. They set the tone. They're very much a part of the run game, and they own it. They take pride in it. That's your update by Tim Twentyman on the Browns. Thoughts for you, Eric?
Well, I was just looking up something while you were reading that last section about the Ravens-Browns game. So the way the scoring went down in that game, Lamar Jackson threw 4 touchdowns to 3 different receivers, and then their defense also scored a touchdown, and then they had field goals other than that. So Derrick Henry in that run game never got going against Baltimore. So that kind of tells me the Lions may want to kind of copy the script that the Ravens ran. They put up 28 points on offense in touchdown wise against the Baltimore, or against the Browns. So I'm thinking we might want to kind of copy their playbook just a little bit and not do what the Packers did, because the Packers, it just was not working all day for the Packers. They finally snapped that streak of Josh Jacobs scoring a touchdown in every game. So he is back to 0. That is reset for Josh Jacobs.
So on that, I mean, Henry didn't really get going against us either.
No.
And so I guess what I would say there is this is a Henry thing, and this is a Ravens offensive line issue. I get that the Browns are really good, but if he didn't do it against us and he didn't do it against the Browns, that tells you something, right?
Yeah.
He had a good game in week 1, I believe.
And then he had a fumble. But against us, he did have one good run. He had, a 36-yard touchdown run in the first half. And then that was it. I mean, that was the whole game for him. We shut him down other than that. So I think the Browns are going to come with a pretty similar style of defense that they had against Baltimore and Green Bay. And why Green Bay decided to play them the way they did, I will never know. I know that they tried to pass the ball in the fourth quarter, and then Jordan Love did one of his patented throw the ball up to no one on his own team, and had a very, very poor interception. There were 3 Browns around and not a single Packer player anywhere in the area when he threw that. And that was the part of the game where they were up 10-0 in the fourth quarter. They should have just been running the ball. So play calling might have had a little bit of something to do there as well.
I like this idea of getting downfield, though. If the Ravens were able to execute which I started watching some of the film, which we're going to queue that up Saturday. So Saturday I'll do another members review. It'll probably be a little bit earlier in the day since you've got your college games on around noon. So I'll probably do it around 10:30, maybe 11, and we're gonna watch some of the Browns and Ravens game. We're gonna watch the Browns' most recent game and kind of dissect, what they're doing and where we see that maybe the Lions could have some ability to to score on these guys. But if they were able to get touchdowns against them through the air, I would expect that the Lions can do that. But the key difference between Lamar and Jared is two things. One, mobility and the ability to escape the pocket, roll out, and stretch the field. Second thing is getting that ball out extremely quick with laser, pinpoint accuracy and throwing it on a rope. That's what Lamar does. However, just because Jared doesn't have mobility, I'm going to tell you one of my keys to the game early for the offense. Shocker, it's the same thing against the Bears. Do you remember what I said that I needed Jared to do before the Bears that he ended up doing almost immediately in that game?
I do not.
You don't remember? It was rollout. So Jared Goff, when he's on a scripted rollout and he boots and he stretches the defense horizontally, he's able to get the ball downfield. And whether it's to Sam Laporta or J-Mo or it doesn't matter who it is. As long as we have the 10-yard curl, 4-yard slant, I don't know, a dig route, something's got to be in there where you've got some short options and some comebacks. That's what Jared Goff excels at. And so I want to see some of the similar game plan to the Bears where Jared is getting out on some boots, some rollouts. But here's the difference for me. If he's going to do that and we have a running back that is back there, I want that running back trailing Jared. And what I mean by that is, and I doubt they're going to do this, but we'll see. I'd rather see a running back kind of trailing Jared to a point where he can go up and make the block if there's, an edge crashing in or a linebacker that's crashing in immediately. Or you've got the blind side that's not covered and Miles or somebody's running from the blind side after Jared. Miles is fast. He's faster than Jared. So he'll be able to close in a hurry. Schlesinger is going to be the problem. For me, he's going to be the issue in that linebacker room. One of those two guys is going to be keyed in on some free releases on Jared all game long. Obviously, Miles will be, but Schlesinger, I think, is going to be able to get after Jared. So roll out, but have a protection plan. Obviously, you're going to slide, that way, and then maybe again you don't. But Jared only goes one way. I don't like him going to the left because he has to then plant, turn, and throw. He doesn't have the hip strength, in my opinion. We saw the one play where he tried to turn and throw it, and he dirted it twice behind the line of scrimmage. He doesn't have that strength in the hips to be able to turn and flip, and he has such a longer, wind up. He's got a great release, but he's got a longer wind up. So I don't want to see any of those plays this weekend either. Those quick hitters, we're supposed to be quick hitters. They're medium hitters for Jared. They're not quick at all. They don't go anywhere. So eliminate that play, get yourself a trailer, and start parking some balls downfield.
I'm hoping this is a game that J-Mo can finally break out a little bit more than he did on the last game.
It was interesting too that he got some early action and then just disappeared.
Nothing. Yeah. What was it? A question of he just wasn't getting open? The focus went away from him.
We'll find out on Saturday, man, during some of the game review, some of the film, because there's some definite things that I reviewed in that second and third quarter with J-Mo. I was a bit surprised. I'll leave it at that. I was really surprised that he wasn't getting the ball at times. they did a good job, but I think that JMO was, I think that he was open on some opportunities that Jared just didn't get to. Which he didn't need to get to them, but I mean, he could have. I had one other bit of NFL news. I got to end right at 10 today because my head is just pounding.
I hear you.
I had one bit of NFL news. Where did it go? Here, I'll just pull it up.
Well, in the chat, Jay-Z says, hoping Tesla can get a third catch this time around. Well, I am too. The Lions targeted him 2 times, and both times he just could not wrangle in the pass on the Ravens game. I don't know. Just the running game was working so well. They didn't have to try to focus on the pass game as much in that game. So I think that's kind of why JMO and Tesla just kind of fell off in that game. They just didn't get a whole lot of targets. The one person who did get the targets was Amon-Ra St. Brown. He scored the touchdown, helped get a bunch of first downs. So I just think those guys weren't needed as much in this game, and we were pretty much in control the whole game.
Hey, quick reminder, don't forget, if you won a prize during the stream, or, you know, this last week, we gave out a couple of mini helmets and some flags. Please email me, mailbag@rockdown.com. I like to send everything all out at once. I'd like to get everything out today. Please email me. I only got one email, and I already had his address. So I need some emails with addresses if you want these things sent to you. So preseason call or off-season call, I said, or I felt that Jackson Dart or Milroe would be taken in the first round. That one of the teams would back in to try to get one of them. Well, the New York Giants took Jackson Dart at 25th overall. And now you're going to see this weekend for the first time, Jackson Dart's going to get the start. Russell Wilson is being benched. So, according to Daboll, he met with Russ. Here's a quote. I met with Russ yesterday and Jackson privately. And Russ was nothing but a pro, which is what I would expect him to be. It's my decision. We're going with Jackson. We're going to get him ready to play this week and the remainder of the season. He's going to do everything he can, and Russ will be the backup. Interesting space for Russ to be in. I think his career's coming to a close. And look, he's had a hell of a career. He just hasn't done much the last 5-6 seasons. This is huge for the Giants because they are teetering right now. And I think that, well, Daboll's probably trying to save his job too. I don't know who wanted Russell Wilson in New York, but to have him as a mentor, hopefully he's a good mentor to Jackson Dart. But I'm excited to see Jackson Dart get his opportunity and to see how he grows and where he develops. Am I expecting him to light the world on fire? No. But reason why I'm bringing this up, this is the scheduled report for your NFL news today. Well, the Lions and the Giants, we go at it on November 23rd. And Jackson Dart should be the quarterback. So there's another key opportunity for your Detroit Lions, and Kirby will get a pick. I'm calling it right now. Kirby will get a pick in this game. You know, Brian Branch might get one too. I love Jackson Dart. I do. But, yeah, good luck against our defense. He has a few weeks to prepare.
Since you gave out a little prediction, I got a prediction for this game as well. I predict that the Lions are going to be so far ahead in this game in the fourth quarter that Joe Flacco is going to go sit on the bench, and none other than Mr. Sanders is going to come in and make an appearance in garbage time in the fourth quarter. So we're going to be there to witness history for Shedeur Sanders' first game in the NFL as a quarterback.
I would say I would say that would be great, but it would be Dylan Gabriel.
It would.
It was, and look, I don't think that Dylan Gabriel's a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders is getting the raw end of the deal completely because what he has done, what he did in preseason, what he's done throughout training camp, and man, the guy's just been electric, accurate, fun to watch. And even though sometimes things are fun to watch, they're not always good, he's good. If the Browns totally fumble this, which I expect them to do, and they put Dylan Gabriel in and they roll with him for a couple of seasons and he's not making it, well, at that point, Sanders might already be gone. You might already be checked out, moved off, traded, something, and then they're gonna be up what creek without any paddles. I think they took too many quarterbacks. I love the idea of drafting a couple, really good quarterbacks that maybe slipped in the draft, but man, to bring in the high profile Sanders and then Dylan Gabriel, I would have rolled with one right away. Wouldn't have been Flacco. I would have said, Flacco, we need you to mentor these guys, but we're going to roll with Dylan. And the next game, we're going to go with Shedeur. And then the next game, we're going with Dylan. And the next game, we're going with Shedeur through the first 4 weeks. May the best man win after that. Whoever played, great through the first 2 outings, they'll get to start for the rest of the year. I don't know. Maybe that's just how I would be with a team that you're rebuilding, because if the Browns even thought for one moment that they were going to have a shot this year, they're eating a different box of Wheaties than I am.
Yeah. Well, because if the Lions win on Sunday, that puts them at 1-3. That's a pretty darn deep hole to be digging yourself out of.
You're definitely not going to make any playoffs.
Now, the Ravens might be in the same spot because the Ravens and the Chiefs play. I will be rooting for the Ravens on Sunday to win that game against the Chiefs. I don't want the Chiefs winning any games. I want the Lions to destroy them here in a couple of weeks. So as of right now, I'll be rooting for the Ravens to win that game.
No, I did not get package yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. We talk about cats in the.
Yeah, they're asking me to send my cat, Bertha, my kitten. Till the Hun said, "Send me Bertha," because I asked if anybody got their packages yet.
Oh, Cruisin.
Sent out the other.
Cruisin, you sent an email. Krista, I got hers, and she's the one that I had.
Man, that started quite the conversation about cats in the thing.
Yeah, our chat sometimes just gets sideways.
Thanks, Attila.
Makes me think that no one's even listening. Yeah, so I got Krista's.
Who are you missing?
I know I have Brent's address.
Brent Lighton won a couple times, didn't he?
Yeah, so Cruisin says he emailed me, and I don't see it. Cruisin, can you do it again, please? It's mailbag@rockdown.com. I'll put it in here again. You may have sent it. I'm just not seeing it.
Hey, Will, we were having so much fun. It blew past 10 o'clock, and I do have to go, so I will see you all tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm out of here anyway. You guys all have a good day. Go Lions. Go in pride. I'll see you tonight. Take care. Bye-bye.
Pressured by Hutchinson. He goes down again.
Center, single back is Gibbs. Goff turn, gives it to Jameer, to the end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions. That's the way you make a statement on the road on Monday night to start a football game, straight down the field to the end zone. It is 2nd and goal from the 1. Goff out of the gun, hands it to Montgomery, tries the left side, did not get in. It's going to be 3rd and goal from inside the 1. There, they say he did get in. Late call. There it is. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Better late than never. Out of the gun. Jackson's got it. Running to his right. Wants to throw. Now being pressured. Ball's loose on the ground. It is recovered by Jackson, but it does not matter. That's Lions football. A fourth down stop by this team. Jackson tried to roll out, had a run-pass option, and Jack Campbell was there to knock that ball loose. That is a big-time stop by that defense. Lions show 4 across the front. There's the snap. Jackson back, looking right. Pressure comes. Jackson still looking. Stepping up. Gonna get hit. Gonna go down. Al-Quinton Mohammed got him. Goff out of the gun. Montgomery to his right. Jared's got it back and looking, throwing right side. Wants Amon-Ra. End zone. Got it. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. What a delivery that time by Goff, where only Amon-Ra with those late hands could pull it in. And the Lions are an extra point away from drawing even once again here in Baltimore. Jackson fakes the give to Henry, wants to throw, steps up, gonna get hit, gonna get spun down again. That's another sack by that Lions defense. That is Al-Quinton Mohammed for the second time tonight. 96, that is big, man. Goff up under center, turns, gives, Amon-Ra flips it out to Gibbs. He's to the house, baby. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Oh, that is beautiful. Goff hands it to Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra flips it to Gibbs, and the Lions have got the lead back. From the Lion 19, Jackson out of the gun. He's got it, wants to throw. Jackson looking, stepping up. Now he's going to get hit, going to go down. Sack back outside the 20-yard line. That football came out, but they're going to say he was down. That is another big play by that Lions defense. Trevor Nowaski with the sack. There's the snap. Jackson back. Jackson looking. Jackson stepping up, rolling to his right, being chased. Still looking. Now he's going to get hit, going down. Taken down again by that Lions.